Hey, how's it going? I just wanted to share my second trading strategy, which is exhaustion. I primarily trade the ES. I've been doing the Apex Futures trading evaluations and program. So you'll see on my screenshot I have thinkorswim on the left and MbTrader on the right, mainly because Apex doesn't have thinkorswim platform to use for their program. So I use MbTrader to place my trades. I run both simultaneously during the day. But to get back to the exhaustion, what am I looking for here? These yellow candles right here are my exhaustion arrows. Small arrows or small sells, large arrows are a strong sell. So once I see these arrows print consecutively, meaning there's no other indicators or no other arrows in the opposite direction, this is where I'm getting signaled to take a short. But I only take that short if I see the price is making a higher high and momentum's coming down. So you can see momentum's coming down the squeeze and coming down on the Moxie indicator as well. These two indicators I talk about in my other videos, so check those out. I get a little more details on them, and you could find the links to kind of get these into thinkorswim if you so choose. On the right side here, it's just my MbTrader platform where I actually place the trades, and this was just showing them where I took the trade up here and then where I got out at. But in any case, looking for 3 arrows, 2 to 3 arrows. If you have a bigger one, I'll take one. I'll take a trade I'll take a trade with 2 arrows. But since these are 3 little arrows, I waited patiently for this trade. Like I said, price must be trending up, Moxie must be coming down, and squeeze must be coming down, which in this case both were. Personally, I look for the 2-minute signal, but I trade on the 5-minute time frame. So I find that works out a little better for me because the 2-minute gives me more of a heads up, and then I can look on the longer time frame to see where the actual pattern is, and it's more reliable for me as far as trading the 2-minute chart. Arrows do repaint, so I do recommend if you use this indicator to wait for that bar to close. However, there are alerts, so if there is an alert, you'll see it come up. So that's saying, all right, maybe something is changing. Yes, the arrow may disappear, but it's saying something's happening, and you can just keep an eye on it more closely, which is what I like about the indicator as well. So with that said, I want to give some examples. This is from 517, obviously. We talked about this. That's the perfect trade for me, perfect setup. 3 arrows up, coming down momentum, and it was an easy trade for me. Once I saw this signal in 2-minute, placed my order, and you can see. And also, I wanted to point out we had this trend break too. So when you get this trend break on top of having these exhaustion arrows, you usually get a pretty big move. And we're in a squeeze here. If you watch my other videos, you know what the squeeze is. For another example, this happened on 519. If you look, we had this move up. We got a big candle, and then we got a consecutive big candle and a lower candle. So that's telling me something's happening. It's going to be moving in the opposite direction. And we have the Moxie indicator coming down, and we have the squeeze coming down as well. So that was an easy trade for me, just because you could see clearly we're making similar highs, but everything else is trending down, and you get in these exhaustion arrows. And if you got on either one of those, you would have profited on that. So that was on 519. On 523, you can see here that we have these yellow arrows coming up, but I have these X's above it because I didn't take this trade. Why didn't I take the trade? Because you could see as we're getting these alerts, exhaustion, but the Moxie is going higher. It's not going down. So that's why I put X here, X here, X here on these ones, because yes, the squeeze is going down, but the Moxie is going higher. So that's telling me, you know what, this move up is actually stronger than what these arrows are telling me. So I waited. So I waited patiently. Third one, so then we got this one up here. So technically it's the 5th arrow in this particular case. So now I got 5 exhaustion arrows. We have momentum coming down, and now Moxie's starting to come down a little bit. You can see we made the highest high right here, but all these indicators are now lower than the previous areas when the price was higher. Also, we got this cross on the Moxie, which went into bearish territory. So in any case, I took the short up here. As I saw this was downtrending, I let it ride out a little bit, took some profits, but that was how I take a trade and why I wouldn't take a trade in this particular case. So that was 523. Next example is 524. The next day, you can see we're getting these alerts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. One is a big one. However, like I said, I didn't take this third one because look where the Moxie is. Moxie is still higher than the previous arrow. So what I waited for another arrow. Once we got that arrow, and I saw this was trending down, that was telling me, okay, I could hop in there now and be comfortable with it. Yeah, I could have hopped in here, but for me, that's more aggressive because you got these momentums telling me that, you know what, the move up is pretty strong. Yes, you could have made some profit on here, but hey, I want the more conservative trade, and I took the fifth arrow or fourth arrow in this particular case. My last sample here, 525. You could see that in the morning we popped up here. I had 1, 2. I thought I was going to see another push up here, and then a few hours later we got that push up, and you can see we have some consecutive arrows. I know this is not the exhaustion one, so when I say consecutive, this is not an exhaustion candle. So we got 1, 2, 3. However, like I said, this Moxie indicator and the squeeze were not going down. Yes, you could have taken the arrow trade and made some money on it. However, I waited, and then once I saw that declining, I didn't get the other arrow, but I saw that coming down pretty strong right there, so I decided to place that trade, and then you can see what happened after that. So it's really, once you get used to this kind of thing, you kind of see how price reacts to it. When I saw this arrow, yes, I would have waited for the extra one, but since this Moxie indicator sold off so quick while price was stabilized, that was telling me, you know what, that arrow was a strong sell. So let me look at this, and once I saw this break, it was telling me go short, so I took it. But once again, once you get familiar with these arrows and these indicators, you'll know how price reacts to what they do in the future price movement. So I just wanted to share these examples with you because this happens a lot, several times a week for the most part. And if you're patient enough to wait and get the right setups, you could actually make a decent amount of good trades and be highly profitable. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please post any questions. I'll try to help out where I can. Thanks.